Russia has launched its biggest aerial assault on Ukraine since the war began. One of Kyiv's main government offices was hit for the first time in a barrage of hundreds of missiles and drones. Residential neighborhoods were also targeted. At least 4 people were killed. President Zelenskyy says this assault will prolong the war. The European Union and the United States say that the bombardment is evidence that Vladimir Putin is not willing to negotiate peace.
Plumes of smoke from Ukraine's cabinet building billow in the dawn sky. For the first time in the more than 3-year war, Russian strikes damaged a government building at the heart of the Ukrainian capital. Ukraine's Air Force says the country endured more than 800 drones overnight, the largest ever attack of its kind. Posting on Telegram on Sunday morning, President Zelenskyy said, "Such killings, when real diplomacy could have begun long ago, are a deliberate crime and a prolongation of the war." Washington has repeatedly said that sanctions will be imposed for refusing to talk. Elsewhere in the capital, in a now all too familiar sight, streams of people are evacuated from their homes after several high-rise buildings were hit.
I was sleeping. I heard the explosion. The house shook. I got dressed and went out to have a look. The 6th floor balcony's on fire. My car is damaged. The glass was blown out.
A number of other cities also came under attack, including Odessa and here in Zaporizhia. Ukraine's foreign minister called Saturday night strikes a reign of terror against an embattled country, and also called for a strong political response, as well as further support for Ukraine's air defense systems. Ukraine says it struck an oil pipe in western Russia, causing extensive fire damage. This footage purports to show the attack, though it could not be independently verified, and Moscow has not commented on the claim. Though Ukrainian forces are striking targets in Russia, particularly energy facilities, the balance of civilian casualties and destruction remains far higher in Ukraine.
Rudik is a member of the Ukrainian parliament and leader of the Holos party. I asked her what it was like in Kyiv during the Russian attack.
Hello, Marian, and thank you so much for having me. Well, as all people in Kyiv, this night I spent in a bomb shelter. Saying more, it's under the stairs where we hide usually during the attacks like this. It is terrifying because in Kyiv and in other cities of Ukraine, when you are going to bed at night, you have no guarantee that you will wake up in the morning, because this is the time when Russia attacks. And it is terrifying because no matter all the attempts of our Western allies, Putin continues and increases the attack. You can imagine 800 drones, it felt like Armageddon, shooting everywhere, explosions everywhere. It is caused to bring havoc and destruction, but also to break people's spirit. And I want to assure you that the spirit is not broken. We totally understand what Putin is trying to do. We have chosen not to capitulate in 2022, and we are not intending to capitulate right now.
We just mentioned the European Union said that last night's massive bombardment is evidence that Vladimir Putin is not willing to negotiate for peace. So are you hoping that after last night that there might be more pressure on Russia, perhaps from the U.S., to finally reach some sort of ceasefire?
Marianne, since the beginning of President Trump's in the office, there has not been any single evidence that Russia wants peace. Not any fact that would confirm that. Only the lies by Putin. And so for us, it was very obvious from the beginning. Russia as an aggressor wouldn't stop unless they're stopped. And right now is one more evidence of this. We hope that this information reaches Washington and that instead of carrots, President Trump will start using sticks. However, it has been 2 or 3 times after the talks with President Trump, after all the attempts, when Putin was attacking us with more and more devastation. Right now, he is trying to show the weakness of the West to his friends and allies that he was meeting previously in China, to Iran, to North Korea, to China themselves, and he is showing that whatever he does, whatever destruction he is bringing, it will not be enough for West to impose the sanctions that would actually work, and for the United States to go ahead with putting pressure on Putin. We hope that his plan wouldn't work. But again, all the eyes right now at Washington, D.C., looking at what President Trump is going to do.
I also want to ask you about Kyiv's retaliation at Russia. We understand that there were a number of targets inside Russia that were hit. What can you tell us about that?
We are defending ourselves, and we are destroying the targets that are military or energy infrastructure that needs to stop Russia from attacking us. You see, when you launch full-scale invasion into another country, you need to be mindful that at some point the war will come to your home, the war will come to your land, to your territories. And again, according to all the international laws, we are acting as in the laws of the defense. And we have all the international spectators to confirm it.
That was Rudik. She's a member of the Ukrainian parliament and also the leader of the Holos political party. Many thanks indeed for your thoughts on being on DW. Thank you.
Thank you.